Hello again, my name is David with Real and Rooted. Thank you for clicking on this video. Today I'm going to talk about more clearance plants that I just bought. I uploaded a video a couple weeks ago of other clearance plants that I bought, but there's more for even more clearance now. So we went back to the store and we got a whole bunch of stuff. But first, before we do that, I do have to say that today is an immaculate day outside. It's only a high of 80 degrees and it's sunny and there's like a little slight breeze going on and it's just beautiful. We've had high 90s a lot recently. I live in the Midwest and that's just common here. So for it to be only a high of 80 degrees in the end of July, it's kind of crazy, but we'll take it. We're not going to complain. So the other day we went back to Walmart, like I said in my other video, Walmart and Meijer mostly, and we just wanted to see if they had anything on sale because now is the time of the year when they start to put a lot of their stuff on sale. So take note of that. And when we were there, we saw that a lot of stuff clearly is on sale for either $1 or even 50 cents each. So we figured we gotta snag some stuff up. There's some little spots we want to redo and some more holes that we need to fill in our yard. So I'm gonna go over everything that we got and then show you guys where everything's going and then plant it up and then we'll go from there. So let's get into it. So the first one is this heuchera, and it's very similar to ones that I just planted in another video back in the new shade garden bed back there. So it's just another heuchera. We're gonna put it in the front of the house this time because we don't have any up there, and there's a tree that gets a lot more shade under it than we thought previously. So we're gonna have to move some plants today that prefer more sun, and then we're just gonna put stuff like this in its place because this is more of a shade plant. This one in particular will get about 12 inches tall and wide, and we only bought one, so it's just gonna kind of chill out by itself, but I love these. The next two are looking kind of a little rough. There's a little bit browning on the edges of them, but another one that I put back in the shade bed back there, I put 3 of these, and they were a little bit not so yellow color, but the exact same plant. So we got these yellow ones and we're gonna put them in between the other 3. So we'll just sit right in the middle and then it'll be a nice little drift of these little carex grasses. These ones are hardy to zone 5, which is what we are, and they get about 12 to 20 inches tall and wide. When you're buying clearance plants, sometimes they do a little bit worse for wear. So these 2 hostas are a perfect example of that. They have a little bit of browning leaves, like not a lot of growth on this one, is pretty small. And this one isn't looking too great either, but hostas are super resilient. And we know that next year, these are just gonna come back big as ever. So we weren't too worried about buying them. They're pretty cute. We don't have hostas like this in our yard already, at least this color. And then they have a little bit of a wave to the leaf. You can kind of see on there. So these are cute. These are going up front where we don't have any other hostas right now. And these are actually hosta hybrids. So they're a little bit different, but they will get super big, about 36 inches tall and wide. So they're gonna fill up a lot of space, and we got 2 of them. So love to see it. And then a few more that are looking a little bit dingy, I guess, are these 2 lavender plants. So like you could see right in there, we've got to do some trimming before we put it in the ground, but super jazzed about this. We have a spot where we have a hydrangea right now that just does not like being there. So we're gonna move that, put it somewhere else, and put one of these in its place, and then just another one in another full sun spot, because these need 6+ hours of sun, and they are just English lavender, and they already smell just so good. Probably one of the best scents out there. But as far as lavender goes, they're a little bit on the smaller side, getting only 12 to 14 inches tall and then 8 to 10 inches wide, which really is not that big when you think of lavender, but that's okay. They'll probably get a little bit bigger than that just because they're gonna sit in sun all day and they have space to just grow out and be as crazy as they want to be. A big tip I have to say is don't feel too bad about plants that look like this if you know that next year when they come back, because these are perennials. They will look a lot better than this once they have time to acclimate, and they're actually gonna get taken care of more than what the Walmart employees are taking care of them with. Next up we have these are called Rex begonias. We got 3 of them, and they are only annuals, but they are a perfect shade plant because they only need about 2 to 4 hours. Can't really see that, but they have like these nice, I would say like even pinkish kind of leaves. They don't flower or anything, it's just the leaves. They're kind of like a heuchera, but only an annual. They're only an annual because they're only hardy down to 32, and we will get much colder than that this winter, but they're gonna get about 12 inches tall and wide, and they're just gonna fill a nice little space up front under our flowering crab tree that we are gonna completely be redoing that area today. So these are a good choice. These ones were not on clearance, but these are the second hostas of the video. They are these cute, like almost plastic looking leaves with a little bit of white variegation on the edges like that. Can't really see the plasticky kind of with the lighting that's going on right here, but I will show you a little bit better later on. But again, going up front where we don't have any hostas right now, and probably we might throw some back in the shade bed back there because we still have some space, and we bought 4 of them, so really looking forward to those. These are a zone 3 through 9, and they're gonna get anywhere from 12 to 14 inches tall, so Really excited about these. I just freaking love hostas. You probably noticed if you watch my other videos, we didn't have any hostas going into this year, and now we have them everywhere. And then this last one right here, it was on clearance, but it was still $8, so not $1 or 50 cents. But this is a massive, massive, massive rose bush. And it is a double cupped kind of rose. It's called Earth Angel. It doesn't have any flowers on it right now. You could see actually there's a spent bloom. When we bought it, it had one bloom on it already, and then it flowered again just the other day because it's been sitting in our yard. But we don't have any real rose bushes. We have one, or we have a few knockout roses, which, you know, they're roses, but they're like kind of a little bit different. So this one is gonna get about 3 feet tall and wide. It's gonna fill a massive hole that we have up front, and we're really excited about it because it's a full sun spot, and we had knockout roses there before and they kind of got damaged. And then I threw in a Lissum plant next to them, and it was just a weird spot all year this year. So we're gonna try to move the one knockout bush that kind of survived and is stringing along right now. It has a couple flowers on it at the moment actually, but we're gonna try and move it somewhere else. I know those root systems are crazy, so it's gonna be hard to move it, but we'll see if we can do it. But if not, if we can't move it, it's not the end of the world, you know. Plants die, it happens, it's a circle of life. Those are all the plants that we bought. It's kind of a lot, but when plants are $1 or 50 cents, how can you not? So now I'm gonna go see where everything is going and plant everything up and just get ready for that whole process, move some plants around, and yeah, so let's do it. So it has been a few days now because after I finished planting these, I was just not feeling it. I was super worn out. So I will show you guys where everything went now and how everything's looking a few days later. The first thing I put in were these two Carexes, that one and then that one. And I feel like they tie in that little section there. They give a little drift. And obviously everything is still small because this is the first year that we put in this whole bed. We just dug it out of the grass. So these will get bigger and hopefully kind of just form like one solid little line right there. But I think they look cute for now. They're a little different color there, so it gives a little contrast between each one. I like it. Right in here in the front of the house, I moved two Coreopsis plants that were up under the crab apple up there. And I moved them and I just kind of put them together into one, and they're already starting to form new buds that they were not underneath. I have to deadhead that one. And then the first lavender I put right there. So hopefully that this all fills in within the next few years. Again, it's all like really small plants. So, and then we have a lot of extra open space that we still got to fill with other things. So this is a good start because the lavender started out looking really sad, and it still certainly does, but it definitely looks a lot happier now that it's in the ground and in the sun all day. So that is good to see. The second lavender I put right over here, right next to the garage where we used to have a hydrangea that I moved over that I will show you later. But this little area was kind of really weird soil, so I'm not really sure how it's gonna do. It definitely looks greener and happier, but it's not standing up like the other one is, so it is kind of sad, but I think it'll pull through, so we will see. We'll just have to keep our eyes on it, but yeah, so that's where this one went. And like I said, I moved a hydrangea that was over there. So this type of hydrangea seems like it really didn't like the spot that it was in, and it had bigger leaves, but when I put it in the ground here, they dropped, but now it has all this new growth coming in. So it is a really good sign to see that it's putting on new growth and seems to be happier in this spot. In my garden tour video, I mentioned that we bought these boxwoods for $1, and in the future we want to wrap them around the whole window, and we're gonna move this hyssop somewhere else. So we'll have a nice thing there, a nice little border with the boxwoods. So I think if this gets the size that it's supposed to, it'll fill in this whole area right here. So that's kind of why I put it right there. This part of the house only gets morning sun, and then it sits in the shade for the rest of the day. And apparently this really likes it. Look how green the leaves are. It's really good to see. We like it. Of course, next I did this little front area that is right in the front of our house, but it does get shaded most of the day. So I started with that heuchera back there that is already putting on a bunch of new growth right there in the middle, so we love to see it. And then we had 4 of this type of hosta that did a little swoop around the bee balm that's right here that I mentioned we will be moving, and it looks sad right now because it doesn't get enough sun. But so we did those there, and then back behind them we did these 2 hostas right there. They looked a little sadder, and they still kind of look sad right now, but I know that all of these things will get a lot bigger in the next few years, so it just takes time and patience. And then right in front is where I put these Rex begonias. And this bright pink pop of a color is a really nice entrance to our house because we don't have a lot of color going on right now, and we have a lot of empty spaces. So these I mentioned are only an annual, so these will be gone next year, and we'll fill this with better flowers next year. But for the time being, it is a nice little pop, and I really like it so far. Finally is the big rose bush. So there were 2 other ones here, 2 knockouts that I thought we were just gonna leave for the year and then move eventually. But when I got to digging, their root systems are just so crazy. So I just figured I'll take them out, and we just chucked them. And then this alyssum is just an annual that I have here. And I was gonna move it, but I figured the rose bush isn't really gonna grow that big this year. So we'll just leave it until the end of the summer, and then we'll just not put something here next year. So yeah, that's where the rose bush went. It looks happy. It's got some new growth coming out. No new flowers at the moment, but yeah, that was the last thing. That was everything, so thank you again for watching this clearance haul, another one. It is the time of the year, and I do have to recommend again, go to your local stores. There's probably a lot of plants on clearance right now, if they still have some. My Walmart doesn't have any more because they all sold out, but there's a lot of stores around me, other box stores like that, that have a lot of plants on sale, so I think it is really awesome and a good idea to go pick those up. They might look sad right now. In the next few years, even this year maybe, they might bounce back, and it's just worth the investment. Like I said, a lot of the plants we bought were either $1 or even 50 cents, so really just can't beat that. So anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.